Hello students. So today we are going to discuss about the point that is limiting reactor. What is meant by limiting reagent? Okay. The reactant which is consumed first and limit the formation of product in a chemical reaction. Reaction is called limiting reactor. It is called as a limiting reactor. So for example, consider a reaction A plus B gives a product C. Okay. So now this is a balanced chemical equation. What we can say it is a balanced chemical equation. Okay. And as per the balanced chemical equation, what we are saying, one molecule of A combines with one molecule of B gives one molecule of C. Okay. But while carrying out this reaction in the laboratory, okay, these equations, balanced chemical equations, they are theoretical equations or just a representation for a reaction. But actually, whenever we carry out a reaction in the laboratory, okay, or at practical basis, whenever we are following any chemical equation, we are carrying out any chemical reaction. Okay, there is a chance that one of the reactant may be present in the larger quantity compared to other. So if we are taking one of the reactant in a larger quantity and one of the reactant in the lesser quantity, smaller quantity, okay, then the reactant which is present in a smaller quantity, the reactant which is present in the smaller quantity will get consumed first, and due to consumption of this reactant which is present in small quantity, the reaction is going to stop. So what we are writing the definition, the reactant which is consumed first, completely consumed, okay, or consumed first, and due to the complete consumption of that reactant, the limit of formation of product, okay, the reaction gets stopped. Such a reactant, okay, which get consumed first and which is going to limit the formation of product, such a reactant is called as limiting reactant. Okay, now देखो, अभी ऐसा है कि एक रिएक्शन कोई भी आप कर रहे हो, आपको कोई भी एक रिएक्शन आप पेपर के ऊपर लिखते हो, कोई भी एक बैलेंस्ड केमिकल इक्वेशन आप पेपर के ऊपर लिखते हो, ये बहुत इजी है कि कोई भी एक रिएक्टेंट का एक मॉलिक्यूल प्लस दूसरे रिएक्टेंट का एक मॉलिक्यूल मिलके एक कुछ तो सब्सटेंस दे रहा है, कुछ तो मटेरियल आपको मिल रहा है। ये पेपर पे लिखना इजी है, ओके, बट वी नो दैट मॉलिक्यूल्स आर वेरी स्मॉल पार्टिकल्स. Molecules are very small particles, so we can't weigh the particle exactly. कैसा है कि हम exact weighing, exact mass, exact number of molecules के हम ले नहीं सकते. तो उसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि कोई तो एक रिएक्टेंट ज्यादा हो जाता है, कोई तो एक रिएक्टेंट कम हो जाता है, कोई तो एक रिएक्टेंट क्या होता है, कम हो जाता है. तो जो रिएक्टेंट आपका कम क्वांटिटी में है, अमाउंट की बात कर रहे हैं, क्वांटिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, अगर कोई एक रिएक्टेंट का अमाउंट क्वांटिटी अगर कम है, अमाउंट क्या है, कम है, तो वो क्या होगा, जिसका अमाउंट कम है वो पहले खत्म होगा, उसका क्या होगा, वो पहले कंज्यूम हो जाएगा, वो पूरा का पूरा रिएक्ट हो जाएगा, और उसके बाद में क्या बचेगा, जो लार्जर क्वांटिटी में जिसका अमाउंट बहुत ज्यादा है, वो क्या होगा, वो वैसा का वैसा रहेगा, बचेगा। अभी जो पहले कंज्यूम होता है और उसके खत्म होने के बाद रिएक्शन स्टॉप हो जाती है, ऐसा रिएजेंट जो है उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, लिमिटिंग रिएक्टेंट करके बोलते हैं। उस रिएजेंट को लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट करके बोलते हैं, या फिर उस रिएक्टेंट को लिमिटिंग रिएक्टेंट करके बोलते हैं। ठीक है, अभी देखो समझो इसमें ए की क्वांटिटी लार्ज है, थोड़ी ज्यादा है, और बी थोड़ा सा कम है, ऐसा अगर आपने ले लिया तो क्या हो जाएगा, जिसका अमाउंट कम है वो पहले खत्म हो जाएगा, it get consumed first, and that's why after consumption of this B there is a no molecule of B which are going to combine with A to form C। अगर ये कंप्लीट कंज्यूम हो जाता है तो कोई भी एक भी मॉलिक्यूल नहीं बचता है, तो ऐसे सिचुएशन में क्या होगा कि एक के साथ रिएक्ट होने के लिए बी का मॉलिक्यूल ही अवेलेबल नहीं होगा। अगर मॉलिक्यूल अवेलेबल नहीं हुआ तो आपका प्रोडक्शन स्टॉप हो जाएगा, प्रोडक्ट जो है मिलना है वो बंद हो जाएगा। ऐसा रिएक्शन, ऐसा रिएक्टर जिस क्वांटिटी, जिसका अमाउंट कम होता है और जो रिएक्शन का पाथ जो है, रिएक्शन का वे जो है वो बंद कर देता है, उसको क्या बोलेगा, लिमिटिंग रिएक्टेंट करके बोलेंगे। तो एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल आपके बुक में सॉल्व करके दिया है, तो उसको फॉलो करो, आपको क्या हो जाएगा, इजीली अंडरस्टैंड हो जाएगा कि लिमिटिंग रिएक्टेंट कैसे कैलकुलेट कर किया जाता है या फिर कैसे करते हैं। ओके, द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट फ्रॉम दिस टॉपिक, इट इज द रिएक्शन इन सॉल्यूशन। रिएक्शन इन सॉल्यूशन, तो देखो बहुत सारे रिएक्शंस, यानी मेजॉरिटी जितने भी सारे केमिकल रिएक्शन की बात करते हैं वो बहुत सारे रिएक्शन सॉल्यूशन फेज में ही किए जाते हैं, सॉल्यूशन में ही करते हैं हम लोग, या फिर लिक्विड फेज में करते हैं हम लोग, एक्वियस फेज, वाटर के इसमें करते हैं, मीडियम में करते हैं। तो ऐसे टाइम में हम सॉल्यूशन जब भी बनाते हैं तो उस सॉल्यूशन में पर्टिकुलर रिएक्टेंट का, पर्टिकुलर जो स्पीसीज है, जो रिएक्शन में पार्ट लेने वाला है, उसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कितना है, उसका अमाउंट कितना है, वो बताना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो बताना बहुत ही क्या है, इंपॉर्टेंट। तो ऐसी सिचुएशन में सॉल्यूशन में कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कैसा रहता है, अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस कैसा रहता है, उसका कैलकुलेशन कैसा करना है, उसका मेजरमेंट कैसे करना है, उसके लिए कुछ हम क्या करते हैं, नए नए यूनिट्स सीखते हैं या फिर नए नए फॉर्मूला सीखते हैं, जिससे क्या होता है कि कितना अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस प्रेजेंट है, कितने नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स प्रेजेंट है सॉल्यूशन में, वो क्या होगा, आपको फाइंड आउट करोगे आप। फॉर एग्जांपल आपको मैंने वो दे दी 10 ग्राम नमक लेके मैंने 1 लीटर पानी में डाल दिया, अभी उस 10 ग्राम का नमक डालने के बाद उस सॉल्यूशन का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन क्या है, तो उसमें कितना अमाउंट है, कितने नंबर है, ये सब चीजें बताना, मतलब क्या बता रहे हैं, सॉल्यूशन में से मेजरमेंट्स बता रहे हैं। ठीक है, अभी इस कंसेप्ट के अंदर हम फर्स्ट पॉइंट जो स्टडी करने वाले हैं उसको हम मास परसेंट बोलते हैं। तो मास परसेंट क्या है, इसको ही क्या बोलते हैं, वेट बाय वेट से रिप्रेजेंट किया जाता है, इसको रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं वेट बाय वेट से। तो मास परसेंटेज कैसे निकाला जाता है, मास परसेंटेज, हाउ टू कैलकुलेट द मास परसेंटेज, मास परसेंटेज इज इक्वल टू मास ऑफ सोल्यूट, मास ऑफ सोल्यूट डिवाइडेड बाय मास ऑफ सॉल्यूशन, मास ऑफ solution into 100 तो आप सोचोगे कि now you are going to think that sir what you are writing solution what it means actually. Okay, so what is mean by solution? Solution it is a homogeneous mixture of non-reactive compounds. Okay, it is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, it is a homogeneous mixture of non-reactive compound. ऐसे कंपाउंड चूज करने के जो एक दूसरे के साथ रिएक्ट नहीं होते हैं. अगर ऐसे दो कंपोनेंट को आप मिक्स करोगे या दो से ज्यादा कंपोनेंट को आप मिक्स करोगे तो उसको क्या बोलेंगे हम सॉल्यूशन. ओके, इफ द solution is formed by two components then it is called binary solution. And we are going to use this concept. Okay, we are going to use this type of solution, binary solution. Okay, we are going to use binary solution. So binary solution means two components. So whenever we mix two non-reactive components with each other, and if they are forming a homogeneous mixture, then that solution is called as binary solution. Okay, binary solution. Now this solution consists of two components. Okay, and these two components are further named as solute and solvent. So what is solution? Solution is homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent. What is solute? The component which present in smaller quantity. तो देखो क्या है सोल्यूट वो कंपोनेंट है सॉल्यूशन का जिसकी क्वांटिटी कम होगी. बाइनरी सॉल्यूशन में जिसकी क्वांटिटी कम होगी उसको आप क्या बोलोगे सोल्यूट बोलोगे. ओके, उसको क्या बोलोगे सोल्यूट बोलोगे. और सॉल्वेंट किसको बोलोगे जिसकी क्वांटिटी ज्यादा होगी. सो द कंपोनेंट व्हिच इज प्रेजेंट इन लार्जर क्वांटिटी is called as solvent. What I am saying now, okay, मैंने अभी एग्जांपल क्या दिया था कि 10 ग्राम of salt that is NaCl dissolved in 1 liter of water. 1 liter of water. अभी इसमें क्या हो गया ये 10 ग्राम ये क्या है क्वांटिटी कम है बराबर है क्वांटिटी कम है तो ये क्या बन जाएगा अपना सोल्यूट बन जाएगा. 1 लीटर 1 लीटर 10 ग्राम से ज्यादा है तो ये क्या हो जाएगा सॉल्वेंट हो जाएगा. ये क्या हो जाएगा सॉल्वेंट हो जाएगा. तो द component which is present in larger quantity is called as solvent and the component which is present in the smaller quantity, okay, lesser quantity is called as a solute. Okay, so that mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100 So for example, 4 gram of substance dissolved in 20 gram of water. 20 gram of water. Calculate the mass percentage of substance. Calculate the mass percent of substance. Okay, this is the question. This is what? An example, a numerical. Now what we have? We have the mass of substance. Okay, and another mass we have. So out of these two, the smaller is what? This smaller is smaller quantity. So it is what? Solute. What it is? Solute. Larger quantity. What it is? Solvent. Okay, solvent. And what is solution? Solution is solute plus solvent. What is solution? Solute plus solvent. Now we have the formula. Mass percentage is equal to mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. We can easily calculate mass percentage for a solution in which 4 gram substance is dissolved in 20 gram of water. So mass percentage is equal to what? Mass of substance. It is 4 gram. No problem. Mass of solution. Mass of solution is nothing but mass of solute plus mass of solvent. So that is 20 plus 4. It means it is 24. 24 into 100. This will give you the mass percentage for the solute or mass percentage of a solution. Okay, so this is 1 6, then 0 1 6 6. Okay, so it is about 16.6%. 16.6%. Okay, now likewise we have to solve the numerical. We have to solve a problem related to mass percentage. Related to what? Mass percentage. Okay, so remember that for any numerical, whatever quantity they have given, the smaller one is solute, the larger one is solvent. Okay, you have to combine both the quantity which will give you the mass of solution. Okay, and just make a formula, that is mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. Okay, you will get the mass percentage. Okay, now mass percentage is totally different from the percentage composition. Okay, because in percentage composition we are determining the percentage of individual element present in the molecule. Now the next concept for this solution is percentage composition. What it is? Mole fraction. Okay, mole fraction. What is meant by mole fraction? It is the ratio of. Okay, what is mole fraction? Ratio of number of moles of a particular component to the total number of moles of solution. solution. What is it? It is what? It is a ratio of number of moles of a particular component. Okay, so whichever component is under study, okay, or you are choosing to determine the mole fraction for that particular component. Okay, what you have to take? Number of moles of that particular component divided by total number of moles of solution. For example, consider a solution is made up of two components A and B. Okay, A plus B gives you a solution. So in that solution, we wanted to determine the mole fraction for A and mole fraction for B. Okay, this mole fraction, the mole fraction is represented by letter x, small x. Okay, so small x represents what? Mole fraction. So mole fraction is always given as x. Okay, consider a solution which is made up of A and B. Okay, then mole fraction for A, mole fraction of A, that is XA is equal to what it is? Number of moles of particular compound, number of moles of particular compound, number of moles we are representing as small n. Okay, that is what we have discussed. So number of moles of A divided by what? Total number of moles of solution, that is nothing but Na plus Nb. Na plus Nb. Number of moles of A, number of moles of B gives you a solution, and that's why what we are writing: number of moles of A plus number of moles of B. Likewise, for component B we can determine, for a component B we can determine XB is equal to Nb divided by Na plus Nb. Mole fraction for the component B can be determined by using formula XB is equal to Nb divided by Na plus Nb. Okay, so these are the two formula to determine the mole fraction for a binary solution. Okay, which is composed of two components. Okay, and always remember that mole fraction x for a solution is equal to 1. It is always a unity. Okay, it is always 1. Okay, so mole fraction XA plus XB is always equal to 1, which is nothing but mole fraction of solution, that is X. Okay, so XA plus XB, or we can write X1 plus X2 plus Xn is equal to 1. Mole fraction of all the component, if you do the sum of mole fraction of all the component of a solution, it is always equal to 1. It is always equal to unity. Okay, so remember that mole fraction for the solution is always equal to 1. It is unity. Okay, the next point we are going to discuss from this topic, it is two different things. Okay, one is called as molality and another one is called as molality. Okay, molality and molality. So first we will discuss molality. R-I-T-Y. and the second is molality, Lity. Okay, what is meant by molality? Okay, the number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution. 1 liter of solution is called as molarity of solution. And represented by capital M. It is represented by capital M, and molarity of any solution can be determined by using the formula. Molarity is equal to number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liter. So molarity is equal to number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution is called as molarity, represented by capital M, and formula is the number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liter. While a molarity, it is number of moles of a solute in 1 kilogram of solvent. So what is the molarity? The number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. 1 kg of solvent is called as molarity, and represented by letter small m. It is represented by letter small m, and for that we can write the formula. Molarity is equal to number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kilogram. Okay, so this is regarding the reactions in solution. And for the solution, what are the things we measure? We measure or we determine mass percentage. Formula is mass of a solute divided by mass of a solution into 100. The second thing, we determine mole fraction of individual component. Mole fraction is nothing but the ratio of number of moles of a particular component to the total number of moles of solution. Okay, what it is? It is the ratio of number of moles of a particular component to the total number of moles of a solution, and represented as x. Okay, represented as x for binary solution. For a solution component containing A and B, we write XA is equal to NA divided by NA plus NB, or XB is equal to NB divided by NA plus NB. Okay, so it is represented by x, and always remember that the mole fraction for the solution is always unity. Okay, it is always unity. So whatever the number of components present in the solution, if we sum the mole fraction of all components, present in the solution, it is always equal to 1. And the next thing what we have discussed about molarity. Okay, what is molarity? It is the number of moles of the solute. Here we are discussing about the solute. Okay, number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution. Okay, 1 liter of solution, and the formula is molarity is equal to what it is, the number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liter. Okay, this by using this formula you can calculate the molarity of any solution. Okay, if you know the number of moles of solute. Otherwise, if you know the mass of a solute, okay, and molecular formula for the solute, you can calculate the number of moles, and by using that number of moles you can calculate the molarity of a solution. Okay, the second thing, it is molarity. Okay, what is molarity? Number of mole of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent. Okay, 1 kilogram of solvent is called as molarity. Okay, and the formula is molarity is equal to number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kilogram. So remember that this molarity, okay, molarity depends upon temperature. It depends upon what? Temperature. Okay, if we increase the temperature, if temperature increases, molarity, that is capital M, molarity decreases. Why this is so? Because if we increase the temperature of solution, okay, if we increase the temperature of solution, the volume of solution increases, and molarity depends upon the volume of solution. Okay, it depends upon the volume of solution. If we increase the volume of solution, okay, this ratio automatically decreases. Okay, if denominator is increasing, the quantity we are getting after this solving equation, it is smaller. Okay, and that's why it is temperature dependence. Okay, how it is? If we increase the temperature, molarity decreases. Why? If we think about the molarity, okay, it is independent. What it is? Independent of temperature. So temperature change is not going to affect the molarity of solution. Okay, but if we change the temperature of solution, molarity changes. Okay, temperature does not affect the molarity. This is regarding the what? Reactions in solution, or the measurements of concentration of solute and solvent in the solution. From which we are going to calculate how the reaction will take place in the solution, what will be the concentration of solution, what concentration we require. Okay, all the things can be calculated, measured by using these equations. Okay, so now in the laboratory, what we do, we prepare a stock solution. So whenever we work in the laboratory, we always find that there are some solution kept in the bottles. Okay, there are some chemicals which are kept in the bottle. What they are called as stock solution. What is stock solution? So, solution of higher concentration. Okay, these are the solution of higher concentration, okay, which are used to prepare a solution, okay, of lower concentration by using these stock solutions. Okay, so now if you require 0.1 mole of NaOH, it can be prepared by using 1 molar NaOH. So if you have 1 molar NaOH, you can easily you can prepare this. Okay, so by using higher concentration solution, we can easily prepare the lower concentration solution, and such a higher concentration solution which are prepared and kept in the laboratory are called as a stock solution. And to calculate how much volume of stock solution is required to prepare a particular solution is determined by using formula which is we called as a molarity formula. Molarity formula for the preparation of solution. The molarity formula is M1V1 is equal to M2V2. So by using this formula, you can prepare any solution by using a solution of higher concentration. By using the solution of higher concentration. तो देखो स्टॉक सॉल्यूशन रहता है जिसका कंसंट्रेशन बहुत ज्यादा रहता है, उसको यूज करके हम क्या करते हैं, लोअर कंसंट्रेशन, कम कंसंट्रेशन रहने वाली सॉल्यूशन बनाते हैं. ओके, अभी ये कम कंसंट्रेशन वाले सॉल्यूशन बनाने के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए, कुछ तो कितना ml एक स्टॉक सॉल्यूशन लेने का है वो पता होना चाहिए. अभी वो पता कैसे करते हैं कितना ml लेना है, तो कैसे करेंगे, तो एक फॉर्मूला है M1V1 M2V2 करते हैं. अभी इसमें M और V जो है वो क्या है, मोलैरिटी एंड वॉल्यूम है. अभी एक तो मोलैरिटी आपको पता होती है कि आपको कितना बनाने का है, उसका कितना वॉल्यूम लगने वाला है, कितना ml आपको चाहिए वो भी पता होता है. तो उसको यूज करके क्या कर सकते हो आप कि कितना वॉल्यूम लेने का है वो क्या होता है समझ में आता है. ठीक है, तो इसके रिलेटेड कुछ न्यूमेरिकल्स है मोलैरिटी और इस मोलैरिटी फार्मूला के साथ. ओके, तो ये जो न्यूमेरिकल्स है, जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स है वो हम नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके, और इस टॉपिक को हम उधर ही लास्ट लेक्चर करके खत्म करेंगे. थैंक यू.